Working at home is not what you think it is. Working at home is not what I thought it was going to be. Um, you know, the idea of removing the commute and basically doing the 20-second commute where you walk straight from your bedroom to the office sounds like an amazing deal, especially the amount of hours that you get back in your life by removing the commute. You have an hour commute, hour and a half commute. That takes a lot of time, right? So that is the perception, and now let's talk about the reality. So obviously, because of the pandemic, a lot of people are now working from home, and I'm going to talk in the end of this video about what that means going forward in terms of after we are done with this whole quarantine situation. There are going to be some changes, a lot of changes, and I'm going to talk about some of those changes specifically in regard to the working at home deal. So the thing with working at home is that, yes, it's awesome that you get more time in terms of your time because you remove the commuting time, so that's great. It's nice to be able to again have that 10-second commute. That's awesome. And I've addressed a lot of the issues that come from the negatives. A lot of negatives. People feel like they're trapped. You feel like you're trapped in the house all the time and you don't get to go out much, and it's kind of like you're a prisoner in your own home, and you lack that human interaction. And initially it was challenging for me. I did feel that again, the lack of human interaction and feeling trapped, and a lot of stuff going on with the world and the pandemic and the economy. So it was a little bit scary to begin with. I wouldn't say, I don't know if scary is the word I want to use, but I definitely wasn't doing too well in the beginning. I felt a little bit down. It got to a point where I was also overwhelmed, getting used to, I'm used to 4 or 5 screens in the office, and then at home, I don't have such a setup. So now you're working on one screen. It can be a little bit challenging and frustrating, especially, again, you're adjusting to a new environment, a new schedule, and you're limited to the single screen, and a lot of frustration that can come from that. There's a lot of different things that I need to be looking at throughout the day. I need to have quick access to and quick visibility to, and that's tough on one screen. When you have multiple screens, I can have certain things that I'm monitoring on one screen that's up all the time, so I can see what's happening. And with a single screen, obviously you gotta be flipping around. So I mean, this is frustration, and then also getting set up. There were some issues with my computer getting set up. There's some issues with the remote access software, and then it's everything, right? The pandemic, the economy, the uncertainty, and then you're also dealing with setup issues. And yeah, it was not a vacation. You think, yeah. I mean, not that working at home is gonna be a vacation, but again, there's a lot of stress that's accompanies the commuting, right? So the feeling is you remove the commuting, and all the stress that comes with that, and I gotta get up, I gotta catch my bus, train, whatever it is, you're taking a car, whatever it is, right? It's a whole to do. You remove that and you're like, yeah, this is great. And you're at your home, you got your fridge there with whatever food you want, home cooking, whatever it is. But again, the initial transition is tricky. I know a lot of stuff that was going on that was very negative, a lot of stuff on the news, and you just keep hearing about all the people dying, all the people getting sick. You're thinking about, will I get sick? And it's just a lot. So one of the first things that I did to address all of this is I considered the situation that I was in, all these negatives, and I came up with a plan of how I'm going to address this, right? So I knew that one of the things I want to address is things that would uplift me in terms of my mood. So my go-to, which has always worked whenever things are really stressful for me, diet and exercise. Diet and exercise. So I stepped up my diet, started eating more healthy foods, started juicing. So I'm eating, carrots and leafy greens and all that good stuff, and started exercising. And I quickly ordered on Amazon a what do you call it? One of those folding chairs, and I set that up right in the window so I could get all that sunlight coming in, right? And that to me made a big difference. Now I have a nice setup. I got an L-shaped desk set up on one side of the living room, which I could have worked from, but I wanted that sunlight. I wanted to be as close to being outside as possible. I know sunlight's important, so I set up my chair. I put it right by the window. I got a step ladder. I set up a second screen. I put the monitor on the step ladder. So now I have two screens. Two screens are better than one. I love tunnels. Woo! I love doing that. So I had my two screens set up. I got all my sunlight because I'm right by the window. And then the exercise, the diet changes. And slowly but surely, my mood started lifting up, started feeling better, started getting more comfortable to the changes, getting used to the new schedule. And again, with everything that I did, I got to the point where I no longer had the stress levels that I had initially. I didn't feel as trapped as I did before because, again, I'm by the window. I got the light coming in. So all day long in my peripheral vision, I'm seeing green and trees, and I got my own little mini. I mean, essentially, there are city parks that are probably similar size to the property. So I fully take advantage of that. I feel for people that don't have that to their advantage. But I mean, there are a lot of people who, you may not have such a large yard, but I mean, you have a yard, you have some trees, you have something green, something outside to look at. Even in the city, you can, if you have, sit by the window so you can see the outside world. You're not just only seeing your four walls, right? If you don't have any windows to look out, then I feel for you. But if you got a window, I don't care what it is. It's another building across the street. It's something you got to get out of that feel. I mean, everyone's different, but for me, it made a big difference. And not just that one thing. Again, the diet, the exercise, the changing my environment, right? So at the end of the day, when you do all these adjustments in terms of how I feel much better. My mood is much improved. But it's a little bit how shall we say, I guess the unexpected is I actually end up working more hours working at home than I would in the office. And I do work a lot of hours in the office as well. But when I'm working at home, I don't have to worry about always get people taking videos. People who are car fanatics and others as well who just like the look of it. But anyway, but yeah, I end up working more hours because in the office, even when I'm going to work longer hours, I consider, getting home. But if I leave now, I'm going to get home so late. I'm not going to get enough sleep to be able to get up in time to come to work. So if I don't leave now, I'm not going to get enough sleep. And then I got to get up super early. I don't want to get out of bed. And then a long commute and then going to the office. And it's a whole deal, right? So at some point in time, unless it's a really, really super urgent, I will just, I'm out of here, right? As I should, right? You don't want to be a workaholic. Working at home, I can work. I wouldn't push it more than 30 minutes before bedtime. So if I feel like I need to be in bed, At if I feel like I need to be in bed by, let's say, 10 p.m., then at 9:30, that's it. That's a wrap. I'm done. But I can stay up later than that and do stuff. I mean, it depends on what I'm doing. Like right now, it's not quite time yet, but I'm actually working on a project with one of the exchanges, and they shut down at 5:15, and then they open back up at 6:30. So I can't do any testing at that time. Normally, I'm done with work at 6 anyway, but I want to get this done. I have a huge deadline coming up, and I want to get everything done. So normally I would like to. It's the end of the day. Things are slowing down. I don't have people calling me and emails and different things going on. So let's end the day and just go hardcore with this project. Working with the exchange. But then they're down. So at the end of the day, they're down. So what I've been doing is I take a break. I say, okay, well, I can't do anything at this time. I want to do some extra work, but can't do anything. They're down. So I wait until they come back up, take a break, exercise, whatever. Sometimes I play VR. I got the Oculus. And once, the time, like it's about to happen right now, I just go ahead and, continue working. So what I'm going to do, I got my folding chair right here, and I'm just going to set up right here by the water. And that's going to be my office. So again, at home, I'm by the window. I got the nice scenery. And now I'm taking it to the next level where I'm actually outside. I'm not close to outside. I'm actually outside. And then that's going to be my, again, escaping the being trapped. You're at home all day. Da da da. Well, when I'm home, I'm by the window so I can see more. And sometimes when I can, like now, after hours, I actually go outside and actually work outside. So I think that's pretty cool. That's an awesome thing. But again, all these things that I'm doing are the things that allow me to be able to adjust to the situation and not be down, not be depressed, and be at my best. And I'm actually at a pretty good state right now, which is interesting because now my workload just just got doubled. So that's a fun stuff. But it's convenient that I'm in a pretty good state to be able to be at my best to manage what's to come. But again, the only reason why is not because I'm so amazing. It's because I've taken action, right? And I think that's what all of us need to do. Whatever your situation is, you need to address that this is a stressful situation and do whatever it takes for you to be able to adjust. But again, the catch ultimately, and which I wanted to bring up, is for those of you dedicated workers like myself, you can actually find yourself working more hours than if you were working in the office. But then you got to look at the full equation though. What's the net effect? So you got these additional stresses and pressures and the cons of it all, right? But then you can balance it out with taking advantage of the situation. Again, with me, sitting by the window, exercise, diet, and I move around. Sometimes I'll stand up. Like in the morning. Sometimes what I'll do is I will set my laptop in the kitchen. I got my little yoga mat. I'm standing on the mat and I am working on the computer while I'm making my cornmeal porridge I like to make in the morning. So, I mean, the main thing with that is I just got to monitor it, right? It takes me a few minutes just to stir it up or whatever. And then I just need to monitor it, just be there, make sure the fire's not too high or whatever. So that allows me to actually focus on work, get my work done. And, if I hear it bubbling or, it's typical stuff, right? I can turn it down, whatever. And then once it's done, I just scoop it out, put it in my bowl. But in that mode, I'm doing a little bit of standing. It's good to not be sitting all the time, right? So that's my little standing session. Then I will go sit by the window. So yeah, you may end up working more time than if you were in the office, but I think the net effect is in my favor, and ultimately it's in the favor of I think it's in the favor of your employers, right? So wherever you work for, I think employers are getting a pretty good deal. Your dedicated workers, you're going to be able to get more out of them. And if they adjust appropriately, like I said, diet, exercise, whatever, and that's partly for the employers as well to educate their employees on what they need to do to basically um, be able to best deal with the situation, right? So a little bit of education there as well. Fortunately for me, I mean, I'm already sort of versed in this kind of stuff, so I already knew what to do, and I did it. But some people may not take the initiative. So it's for the employers to educate their employees on how to adjust to this working from home situation. But I think in the end, the net effect is you're getting more work out of your employees, and they can actually be happier because again, the stress of commuting, they can have more time. Actually, because yeah, okay, how are you going to be working more and then more time? You're not always going to be working like that, right? When stuff needs to get done, you can get it done faster. You can deal with a heavier workload by working longer hours and not having to deal with the commute where it makes it really crazy. But ultimately, you can actually get more done in that scenario. And then when things get more normal, you can have a ton more time, like at least 2 hours a day additional, right? If you were not working at home, those 2 hours plus would be spent commuting. So I think the balance of those days when your schedule is more normal and you have more time, as soon as you're done working, you could go actually do something. A lot of people, and myself included, it's tough to do stuff after work because it's like bedtime. I gotta get to bed. As soon as you start trying to do anything, shopping, whatever, before you know it, it's late and it's kind of insane. That's stressful. You don't deal with that. So you get more your time, and then when things are tough, you can better address with that or deal with that. Now, if you got family and kids, that's a whole nother story. That's for another video. But ultimately, I think working at home is not necessarily what many people thought it would be, and it hasn't been quite what I necessarily expected. But I think net effect, I I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it, and I think, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I was going to talk about moving forward. I think that more people are going to have more opportunities to work at home going forward. Companies are going to realize how much money they can save. Smaller offices, and also they can get more work out of their employees. So I think going forward, we're going to see a lot more of that. So anyway, on that note, it is just about time. Oh wow, I'm right on time. So the exchange just opened up. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my chair and get to work. Try and get the best seat. All right, so some guy saw me on the road and so he was talking to me about the car and yeah, happens. It's usually, like I said, car enthusiasts and stuff like that. They usually are taking pictures and that kind of thing. And also, it's extremely rare. I've never seen one on the road before. I don't know if I showed you guys before. Let me. There she is. So here's my chair. All right, so here's my office for today. Get my little camp chair. There's the view. So I just need to. I'm actually using. This is a motorcycle seat. Which makes this a little more comfortable. I can show you this a little bit. This has got the cup holder, got a little ice box there. And then I got a battery pack in here to charge my phone. All right. And it's got back support right here, lumbar support. And good to go. So, got my Bose headphones. Pretty good. Ah. So, got the nice Bose headphones, noise canceling. These are really good sound quality, excellent noise canceling as well. And I just need to log in. I'll be good to go. Well, they got a strong Wi-Fi signal. Apparently we do. I am logging on to VPN right now. Alright, so I'm on the internet right now. It's authenticating me on the office network. Sometimes it's a little bit slow. Actually, no, it's asking me for my additional information to authenticate me. Great, I let it time out. I gotta go again. The VPN software, a lot of times it pops up a secondary window. If you may not realize it, so then you are sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting, but meanwhile it's waiting on you to respond to the dialog box in the background. All right, I think I'm good to go. I am on the network, and I just need to log into the Exchange website and get going. Hopefully they're not having issues again tonight, because that's always fun when you're working beyond your normal hours, trying to hustle and get things done, and then whatever you rely on is not working. That's no good. It's a little bit annoying. I remember one time they were having some outage, and it took me 2 hours to probably do something that should have been, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, because this wasn't working, and I'm trying to figure it out. What's up? What's the deal? And because they didn't send an announcement out, so I don't know if they're down or they're up. I just know something's weird. I'm trying to figure it out, and back and forth. Before you know it, an hour's gone by, an hour and a half's gone by, and not much has gotten done, which is kind of annoying. All right, so I'm on their website right now, so I'm going to go ahead and get to work, and this will conclude my video of working from home is not quite what you think. Ultimately, again, my net perspective is I think it's a good thing. It's a cool thing. I'm enjoying it, but it's not quite what I expected, but the net effect is a positive one. I think it sort of adds to the quality of life, but it's not just all positives. There's a sort of there's a balance between the two. But again, the net effect, the rewards versus the negatives, I think we're leaning more towards the positive. So I think it's a good deal for employees, good deal for employers, and I look forward to the future where much more employees are going to be more open-minded to allowing their workers to work from home. So thanks for watching the video. Everyone be safe, be healthy, and all the best. And like I said, be creative, man. Be creative. Try to adjust your environment. Try to change things so that so that whatever it takes for you to best be able to deal with the circumstances, figure that out and do that, right? Everyone's different, but you got to make the effort, do your Google searches, ask people for suggestions, try this, try that, figure it out. But I think a core fundamental would be, or the core fundamentals would be exercise, diet, sunlight, vitamin D. A lot of people get depressed during the wintertime. If you're inside all day, you're not getting sun, so it's kind of like you're gonna get similar effects to wintertime. Again, sunlight can affect your mood, right? We need vitamin D, and there's other health benefits from getting that exposure to sunlight, right? So either it's wintertime and it's cloudy and not much sunlight. Also, it's cold, so you're not inclined to go out as much, and you have sort of again the mood decline. Or now the weather's nice, but you're inside all the time, so you're still not getting the sun. Ultimately, that's the issue: not getting enough sun. Well, that's one of the issues: not getting enough sun, and also inactivity. No exercise, lack of sun, mood goes down, people get depressed. So if you got to be inside, then get close to that window, get that sunlight. But if you got a yard, use that yard. Don't be stuck inside and complain about you're stuck inside. Do something about it. No one says you have to be inside, right? You just can't go to the office, right? So go in the backyard if you have to. If you have the option, going to a park like here, as you can see, I'm definitely social distancing. There's no one anywhere near me, so I'm good to go. I don't even need a mask or anything. And this is what's up. So anyway, I want to get some work done. On that note, thanks for watching. Everyone be safe, and well, actually get some work done instead of sitting here yapping to you guys. Click on the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And until the next episode, I'm out. And I got allergies. Sorry about that. I got allergies. Allergies. I have me some allergies. And I'm out.